alternative routes, you best do that because road works is ongoing, and I'm very impressed that place is looking at how it's looking right now. But what is happening right now is that they've cordoned off a part of the road so that it can be what's that black thing they put on?
The asphalt.
So they can put the asphalt there. So what's happened is that 2 lanes have been joined to sort of, people are having to use 1 lane
for those who are coming and inbound and outbound.
Absolutely. So if you're coming around the Challenge Ring Road area, you want to take alternative routes.
Somebody looking gloomy.
Okay, maybe Charity can tell us what the situation is right now, because she's
Charity. Good morning.
Good morning, Charity. How are you today?
Good morning, guys. I was hyperventilating.
I can imagine. I think that was me 3 days ago on Wednesday.
Oh my God. I don't know what it is with Fridays and traffic. And I can't say if it's the construction work because we know that recently I didn't even bother to check. From my junction, I could see the long line of cars, and I started scouting for alternative routes. But as you can imagine, there are more people following those routes, so it's even harder. But if you're on your way to work, just make up your mind that you're going to be late.
Boss. Call your boss.
Call in advance.
Call your boss. And bosses, please.
Right now.
Bosses, you're hearing from us. If you're a boss already, I know you're tapping your foot and saying, Tunji's going to come late again today. Please, Tunji has a good reason for being late today.
And Kikelomo is still finding her way.
Please bear with them this morning. All right, the gang is complete, and it is time for the breakfast show with the Breakfast Gang. And we're going to be looking at stories that made headlines over the week. But before we go to the newspapers, something that obviously made headlines in Ibadan is our oratory contest, which was such a huge success, which took place on Wednesday with Charity as the host and judges Oluwaseun, AKinola, myself, and Edem Osai. I beg your pardon.
Where's that coming from?
I know, right? Edem Osai. And it was such a successful event. And this year, I think for the past few years, we've had private schools.
Win one day stuff, but it was public school. I had 2 surprises. The fact that she is from a public school, that was really amazing to me. And I give all the.
I think we should call out the schools.
Queens of Apostles.
The
School of Apostles.
They totally deserve that.
Queen of Apostles came first, and I didn't realize it was a
Vale
public
College
school,
was second. Came second, and like I said, the fact that it's a public school really thrilled me. It gave me that hope that something is actually happening within that space. Somehow the elite are already
written off the
public school. Like nothing good will come out of there. So, but I think something is happening there that we need to take note of. The other part is that over the years it's been females. I'm concerned a little bit, even though I love the fact that it's a girl child. But
another female.
Where are the boys?
True. Last year we had the female from Vale College. The year before was from Leeds City International. I can't remember who was before that lady, but this time again, another female who run the world.
Girls.
You're always surrounded by girls. Why? Always. The only time.
Okay. Well, Josh is here, so I'm not feeling alone.
Exactly.
But really, let it be so.
I mean, you enjoy Splash Rendezvous in the evening.
I do.
But also for me, it was really heartwarming to see that the younger generation have a deep understanding of what the situation is. Now, of course, kudos would have to go to the teachers because they did a lot of work. But for those students to be able to articulate those words and express it the way they did, I had hope. I just hope that by the time they get to where we are now, become adults, and their whole enthusiasm is not washed down by the continuous deterioration of Nigeria.
Not happen to them.
Absolutely. But it was just really amazing seeing such passion, enthusiasm, conviction in the dream that they want to see. It was just amazing.
The topic was the Oyo state of my dream.
Envisioning the future. Or your state of my dream. And if your state will take those templates, will be a better place.
Absolutely. Our general manager, I was talking about how her husband had gone to school with
the CEO.
I beg your pardon, had gone to school with the vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and how when he was younger, that was how
they were in the debating society. They were debating, articulating themselves, and today. Truly, when you listen to Yemi Osinbajo on the podium, you're amazed.
Orator.
It takes
For
you.
excellence.
It takes you, by your mind, and when he expresses himself, you are convinced that here's a man who knows what he's saying.
Perhaps which is why parents are advised to, take attention to what their children are good at from an early age, because it might be signs to what they would want to be when they eventually grow. Because a lot of people who do debates find their way in the media somehow. Of course, some people do not, but I think it's a telltale of how they might end up. And parents should encourage, if you find that your child is interested in speaking, don't shush them, encourage them to do what they like and develop those skills from a very young age.
And even if you do have children who are a little shy, encourage them to speak, because speaking improves your confidence. When they can do that, number one, it improves their confidence. It gives them, good self-esteem, and then it also helps them to read. When they know they have to speak, they know they have to read. That encourages them to pick up books, and then that enlightens them, gives them the exposure that they need. So it's important, parents, encourage your children. And obviously next year is going to be a whole lot bigger and better, and so it's definitely something to look out for. All right, are you ready for Nigeria, gang?
Adam told me, how do you guys survive discussing Nigeria every day?
Are we surviving?
We are. We're here.
Okay,
aren't we?
We're here.
We're surviving.
Thank God for that. Okay, all right. So during the week, obviously, the issue of open grazing continued, the back and forth continued, where here it says Southern governors' resolutions offered no solution. This is a presidency that spoke up with regards to this. The president, Major General, with the punch, always throws me up when they refer to him as Major General. But President Muhammadu Buhari has said the resolutions reached by Southern governors, which placed the ban on open grazing in their region, offered no solution to the clashes between farmers and herders. He expressed this in a long address where he addressed the conflicts of herders and farmers in a sustained and lasting manner that should lead to the emergence of a permanent solution to the frequent clashes between them, as well as the associated problem of the gun-wielding killer headsmen. Let me move to where he says he feels that instead of actually doing or preferring solutions, he says the Southern governors just did grazing is not going to happen. Grazing is not our business, if I can quote him correctly. So, well, now that we already know the stance of the president on this, what are your thoughts?
I wasn't surprised. This was a reaction by the president in reaction to the resolution by the Southern governors that we saw a couple of weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks now since they made that resolution saying that they were banning open grazing in the southern part of Nigeria and that they would not encourage any sort. So already the Attorney General had come out to compare that ban to be equal to banning spare parts trading in the north. So when I saw this, I wasn't exactly surprised. But what probably got me was that the president says the presidency is saying they're going to reinitiate the establishment of ranches. They're going to be serious about it. And if there's one thing that struck me, though, it's they do not seem to mention when they are attacking the Southern governors or looking at this issue, they do not seem to mention or even understand how open grazing and all the issues surrounding it has led to loss of lives. There's never a mention of it. It seems as if the approach is like people in the South just decided, woke up one day and said, we don't want open grazing, all of you go, without addressing or even recognizing why they got to that point. And if we're being fair, open grazing or herding or whatever, it's not the only business that Northerners are involved with in the South. There are other businesses. Why aren't Southern governors telling those other people to pack up and go? Absolutely. It is because of the issues, a lot of them around security and the loss of lives that this open grazing brings. So I feel like there's some level of insensitivity on the government's position on this. But am I surprised? Not at all.
Absolutely. And I feel like, just to concur with you, Charity, that they feel like, the people that are dying and things that are happening is just collateral damage.
Exactly.
They feel like this herding and all of this
is more important. Yes.
And so, yes, people will die, but they are collateral damage.
That's very sad.
Absolutely. It is very sad.
I mean, if anybody will think in that way, see, whatever came out of that released by Garba Shehu, there's a lot of illogicality in there. The logic is took flight. When you take a look at that,
much of an editorial on the Punch.
Yes.
The illogical something of Buhari concerning this.
And I love what this lady wrote yesterday. I mean, what I did like when she said the other trouble with Malami is illogic.
Exactly, yes, that was it.
That's the recurring decimal in those discussions from Malami to Garba Shehu, because I do not get how you equate freedom of movement, to people encroaching on another person's private property. And like she also said, lives were lost. So the basis for me is that the president or the presidency or the federal government, as the case may be, should think about the lives of people that are lost in the practice of this trade, the anachronistic tendencies of this particular trade. Everything changes. There should be modernity. There should be advancement. There's a better way to do things. I remember that some time ago in broadcasting, we used what they call reel to reel. Sometimes we were using cassette. Today, sometimes we were using the CD. You hardly see these things I mentioned now in the broadcast. Yes, we have evolved into microchips. We have evolved into flash drives. We have evolved into discs that are very small. So let pastoralists evolve. There is a reason for society to grow, so they should also evolve. That's what the federal government should be talking about, not about ethnicity, not about the right for anybody to move anywhere. Actually, I'll end by talking about what Abubakar Lakun said yesterday. He said, if we are free to move anywhere, why did they stop the robbers who wanted to invade the Rock the other time from invading? They should allow anybody to enter.
Exactly. I mean, that logic doesn't hold water at all.
Let anybody enter Buhari's chambers. Anyhow, he's in Nigeria, can go anywhere.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on. Of course, this week something huge happened as well, and of course, which is the plane crash where we lost the chief of
that was last week. Reactions continued,
and the reaction this week continue with, I don't know, how are your thoughts on people attacking the media on only mentioning the name of the chief of army staff and then saying 10 others?
It's not today. When Abacha's government, I'll use the word, permit me to use the word, murdered Giwa and the other Ogoni, others, 9 thereabout. There will always be one name that will lead the pack. It is not to say that those people who were there were not important. No, I don't think we should push that argument to that level. No, the point is, it was even an unraveling. The first thing that you'll have known is that the chief officer was on that flight, and so he's the most the major personality there. He was actually the newsmaker first, before we identify the others. But it would be wrong not to identify the others almost immediately. I found it very disheartening when I saw the release by the military immediately that the names were not dropped. I thought that the names were supposed to be dropped in the official release of the military. Right after that thing happened, rather than blame the media may not be able to access the names immediately. There's a manifest. They may not be able to access the manifest immediately. But the truth is, yes, we should mention their names. I'll say yes, because they are husbands, fathers, sons to certain people in Nigeria.
And I know even initially the media had made a mistake and said the wife
was there.
The wife.
And that was
a huge error, honestly.
All right, so with regards to why the president didn't visit the chief of army staff's family, that's in the news this morning.
No, not visit the family, attend the burial.
I beg your pardon. Garba Shehu, senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, has explained why his principal, President Buhari, didn't attend the burial of his late chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Tahiru, in Abuja on Saturday. According to Shehu, the president stayed away from the burial because he didn't want to inconvenience road users. The presidential aide spoke on Tuesday while featuring... Are you sighing? Can I finish? The presidential aide spoke on Tuesday while featuring on a TV program monitored by The Punch. The Punch had earlier reported that the president was under fire last weekend when he was conspicuously absent from the burial of Tahiru. The COAS and 10 other military personnel died when a Nigerian Air Force Beechcraft 350 jet crashed near the Kaduna International Airport on Friday. Tahiru and the other military personnel were later buried on Saturday afternoon at the National Military Cemetery.
I think I should quote the part that actually captures what Garba Shehu was trying to explain. Quote, he says, "Do you know why he now prays," referring to the president, "do you know why he now prays his Jumat in the State House and doesn't go to the National Mosque? Because he doesn't like this idea idea of closing roads, security men molesting people on the road for the president to have the right of way. These are small things for many people, but they are important for the president. So it is a mourning situation, and the president didn't want to take away attention from that.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. Let's ponder on that.
You didn't allow
time. When we come back, by the time we take this break, we'll give her some water. We'll give her some water. And then
put water on our fire. I'll be back.
Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Splash FM 105.5.
Devon King's my dream, no. Devon King's my dream,
Do you know you can bake a cake for as little as 1,000 naira? You don't believe? With new Devon King's margarine. Enjoy yummy, buttery taste and softer, fluffier texture on all your cakes and pastries with new Devon King's margarine.
Devon King's my dream, no.
You can have it hot, big chocolate. You can have it cold, big chocolate. You can have it at home, at school, at work, or when you hit the road. It doesn't matter who you are, grown up or a kid. Enjoy the chocolate to goodness every day because you need to reach your peak. Everybody needs nourishing goodness. You can never have enough, it's true. Taste the nourishment you can enjoy. Big chocolate it is.
Kids, grown-ups, it doesn't matter. Have a rich cup of peak chocolate anytime and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolatey goodness.
Big chocolate it is.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Now, where's that big malt? Today was just one of those days. You know, woke up by 5, made breakfast, went to work, did my job, then my Oga's work, then Oga's work, came home, made dinner, and now nothing can stop me from enjoying my rich, smooth, refreshing Dubic malt.
Enjoy the silky smooth taste of Dubic malt. Dubic malt, crown the moment.
Come, you don't put yeast for bread before? The dough go just the rise. They rise like 5,000 naira when you put for EcoBank. Before you know, if it become 25,000 naira.
Oga Vega!
Hi! Now so EcoBank customers just they dance a willow as EcoBank Super Rewards don't begin boku their money falla. Save 5,000 naira for your EcoBank account for 30 days or open new EcoBank account with 5,000 naira deposit. And you fit be one of the 50 people who go collect 25,000 naira a woof every week for 4 months. 4 people go win 1 million naira grand prize each. Collect EcoBank card for your account and link your card to *326# or EcoBank mobile to increase your assurance. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you could share with the other neighbors.
Now the toilet be this.
What's the happen?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean come white like this,
Yes, now. Na hypo toilet cleaner than they use to clean up and kill the yama jams come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with hypo toilet cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and gem free. Available in sachet for 35 naira only. Madam, now 2 years land one collect.
We go pay for 6 years,
And the winners for the Indomie Eat and Win promo are Mrs. Obi and Davy.
Yes, Mommy, we won! We won!
Yes, we won!
David, you still haven't told me how you won. It's simple, John. With Indomie Eat and Win.
Indomie Eat and Win?
Yes! Just buy 10 Indomitables pack, find the unique code at the back of the pack, go to www.indomitables.ng and enter your code to win amazing prizes every week and a star prize of 100,000 naira.
Wow! Let me go and get my Indomie now.
Anytime malaria show, Nakam Shalatempo. Anytime malaria come, Shalatempo. If malaria trouble you,
no let malaria come out action for your body. Nakam Shalatem will be brand of anti-malaria wey contain Artemether and lumefantrine. Shalatem na medicine from Shalina Healthcare Nigeria. Then get Shalatem for every age group then. Make you remember to always use Shalatem with food. If symptoms no change after 3 days, go see your doctor.
1xBet oh, 1xBet. Everybody don sabi say 1xBet na the ogbonge place to cash out now because na dem get the highest odds, sharp deposits, ability to sell slips, bet insurance and more. Wetin dey totori body pass be say you fit make money from things like virtual games, basketball, horse racing and many more. Just log on to 1xbet.ng to register and make you no forget to use the promo code RadioWin to get 200% bonus on top your first deposit. 1xBet, bets for every taste.
Hey, why did you put it in the pot like that? You're supposed to break it first.
Says who? This is how I cook my pasta. Besides, it's golden penny pasta. It's non-sticky, so it doesn't matter.
But I want to cook it with meatballs mixed with pepper sauce and cheese.
Go ahead and enjoy your golden penny pasta just the way you want it. Golden penny pasta is made with durum wheat, which contains protein and it's non-sticky, so you can cook, serve, and eat just the way you want it. With golden penny pasta, your way is best.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back to the Morning Splash with the Breakfast Gang, where we're looking at the hot topics over the weekend. Where we left off was talking about the excuse which Garba Shehu gave for the president not attending the late COS's burial. So I don't know, Charity, I know you were, have you cooled down a little bit?
The water has already taken over the fire, so there's hardly anything to say. But I think it's important to emphasize, as you just said, that the president didn't particularly say that this was his reason. It was Garba Shehu trying to come up with an excuse on behalf of the president. So these words are not exactly the president's words, but regardless, I think it is just as nonsensical as it sounds, and that is all I will say about that. Really.
Actually, for what you said, he says here, responding to a question on the TV program, he had said that he hadn't spoken to the president on this, but he said, for as an example, the president is somebody who is so concerned about the safety and well-being of ordinary Nigerians on the streets. He says, do you know why he now praises Jumat in the? Okay, I think that's what you read before. I mean, and I think that like we've said here countless of times that a lot of our public office holders or people that work with the president need to learn public relations. I mean, if you haven't spoken to the president and you know that what you're about to say may even make him look worse, perhaps someone should have, taught him exactly what to say. I mean, public relations.
He just didn't know the implications of the words. He didn't know how far-reaching those words were going to be, considering what was at stake. The chief of army staff had just died. There are men in the service who looked up to this man, whose morale would have been dampened just by the fact that this guy is no longer there. And then seeing the kind of reaction or non-reaction at all, because yes, the president gave out a statement, he directed the flags to be flown at half-mast, declared a public holiday for servicemen, and eventually spoke with the wife of the late chief of army staff on the phone. But it would have been really significant to see the president there paying his final respects as the former chief of army staff was laid to rest. I think it would have made a world of difference to Nigerians, to the men who continue to fight for Nigeria. It would be a boost, but that was not to be seen, unfortunately.
Okay, so if you take a look at these issues critically, there is more, to be learned from communication by these people that speak for the president. I think his attempt was to make the president look good. Make him look like the man for the people, of the people, a man who cares about the people. But I didn't think that was achieved with that communication. They need to understand things that the president should do. For me, the best thing for president to do was to be there, to simply just show up as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and show them that solidarity, that I am with you in your time of grieve and mourning. Coming to Garba Shehu, look, these people are doing what they are paid to do. But like we said yesterday on Splash Rendezvous, there is a better way to do it than they are doing it right now.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to open phone lines in a bit, but we have a couple more stories to go through. But you can send in text messages if you want to text into 0706 949 3000, 0706 949 3000. If you're on Twitter, I would love to read from you as well. Our Twitter handle is @SplashFM1055. If you're watching us live on Facebook, we only ask you one thing, that is to share this to your community as well. So please go to the share button and share this to your community.
There's something that we skipped while we're talking about the appointment of the new Chief of Army Staff.
Oh, we haven't talked about that. We're going to go there, yes.
Yeah, that's what we're going to.
Yes.
We're going there.
Okay, all right. So actually, I'm going to just link that with what you were going to talk about with the appointment of the new Chief of Army Staff. This story actually covers both stories. The President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, on Thursday appointed Major General Farouk Yahya as the new Chief of Army Staff, 1 week after the demise of the former CEO, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Tahiru, and 10 others in a plane crash in Kaduna. Until his appointment, Yahya was the theatre commander, Operation Hadinkai, responsible for counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. Yahya's emergence may, however, spell the end of the careers of about 25 major generals who were of the regular course 35 and regular course 36. Yahya's appointment was contained in a statement by the Acting Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, and the statement reads: the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, has appointed Major General Farouk Yahya as the new Chief of Army Staff. And prior to his appointment, it goes on to talk about what we've talked about already. On Thursday, there were strong indications that his appointment would lead to the retirement of no fewer than 25 major generals who were his seniors. According to military tradition, the new COS, who is of course course 37, is junior to these officers and cannot superintend over them. Yes, Yahya is also junior to the other service chiefs as the Chief of Defense Staff, and he mentions quite a few of them here as well. Okay.
I was reading about his profile. He was born in 1966. His course, he was as a member of the 37 regular course. On 22nd September 1919, the rank of second lieutenant with seniority in the same rank, effective 27th September 1985. If he joined the army in 1985, he had spent 36 years.
36 years in the military.
Is that enough or not? I mean, I can't read your face.
I've seen this. I've looked at actually some stories or old stories, and it doesn't feel like this is not the first time this kind of thing.
Yeah,
it is not.
It's not. No, it's not.
But I mean, it's the numbers that is disturbing. 25 generals to be retired because one man is appointed, who's their junior has to be Chief of Army Staff. Yes. I think it's a waste of all the years of experience that these generals would have, the years spent in training them, and what I think it leaves even the military vulnerable. The generals are supposed to be like the most knowledgeable people with the highest experience in.
They call them the institution memory.
Exactly. So, my question is, would it have been hard for the president to have gotten someone that's not that lower down on the rank? I know people have said this is a political appointment, whether you like it or not. There's going to be political considerations made in appointing the Chief of Army Staff, and even getting up to the rank of general is a political this thing in itself.
Yes.
So that might be, but perhaps we need to be paying more attention into this wastages, because as far as I'm concerned, that is what it is. Wasting all these years of experience, all the knowledge that these people have, just so you can justify the appointment of this one man who doesn't have the experiences that they have, and it's not even as high in ranking as they are. I've heard people blame Obasanjo that he started it. Buhari is not the first person to do it. So why are we all
I mean, it's not a blame to Buhari. People should not look at it from that.
I think 2015 this happened as well. About 25 generals also, because apparently it's tradition.
More like a tradition, but he started his cadet training at the NDA September 27, 1985. Okay, so he was commissioned 1990.
Okay.
It was commissioned September 22, 1990. But look, like you said, one thing that we should be taking a look at is not about tribe and choice of who becomes the Chief of Army Staff or the Army Chief. But what I also discovered here was that majority of the people who are in that seniority level who could have been eligible. As many of them were from Anambra State. One was even from Anambra State, actually, and it's close to the Chief of Defense Staff, who is from Delta. And so that's a consideration too that will also go into that decision making. But the truth is the choice eminently qualified? Yes, he is. This Chief of Army Staff now is eminently qualified. But the truth is, isn't there a better way to do it that we will not be losing these generals?
That is the
I think there
point.
should be. Another thing is, what makes it anathema that a senior cannot serve under the junior?
I think it's military.
That will be very,
it's unheard of in military.
What makes it an anathema? What makes it?
They hold authority. They hold authority very personally.
I just asked. Maybe
Even in
devil's
our culture,
advocate.
even in our culture, it's something that we.
But
we're
this is
very
military service.
Because you even hear, even in homes, a younger sister cannot marry before an older sister. We take a seniority very seriously. So I think even the militaries is something that
your junior cannot give you a command. So if he's now the Chief of Army Staff, that would mean that he will be giving commands to superior officers.
Of who becomes who leads should make the choice from the rank of the leaders.
Well, we know that the insurgency fight is domiciled in the northeast, and a lot of security issues are in the north. And perhaps the president wants someone who knows the region, for whom being in that position would not come with a lot of criticism about religion or maybe some of these things were looked at, but it doesn't take away the fact that we're wasting years and years of experience.
My last thought here is that the choice of who becomes the Chief of Army Staff is resting solely on the Mr. President.
Absolutely.
And so,
he can choose whoever.
And the consideration for who his choice will be rests on him as well. So we're not privy to all the information that led to his choice.
Absolutely.
Calls,
okay, well, let's take your text messages and telephone calls, but also bear in mind the story of the Constitution review.
That's a mouthful.
Absolutely, that's taking place, and a lot of people already have questions with regards to that. Okay, they're telling us that time will soon be up, but all right, you can call us. Okay, we've got somebody here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh, he can't hear me, so I don't know.
0809-155-1055, 0805-699-8678, or 070-6949-3000. Those are our numbers.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Rosie.
Good morning, Barrister. All right, Barrister Jerome, good to have you here. Go ahead.
There's no human being on that doesn't make mistakes. We all human beings are fallible. We can make mistakes, and we do make mistakes from time to time. But with the president we have now, retired Major General Muhammad Buhari, his mistake is a way of life. You will remember early in this administration around 2015, while Oluwaseun was the news analyst that time, I thought we have a president making an average of 3 mistakes, at least 3 mistakes every month. And during challenging that I should point out the mistakes. Very early that I said his appointment of Mahmoud Yakubu, who has like himself as INEC chairman, was a terrible mistake. That was why the elections were never conclusive and INEC lost credibility. I said his appointment of himself as Minister of Petroleum is just another howler. There is no reason why he has made himself Minister of Petroleum Resources. It has served Nigeria no useful purpose for the past 6 years since he has made himself Minister. The failure to attend that funeral was a complete catastrophe. It was a terrible decision. There is no reason now that can excuse it. No reason. He is supposed to be the chief mourner. He can travel to Paris, travel to everywhere in the world. If not, that could head him down. But to move from few kilometers to a funeral of his chief fighter, his chief warrior, it was a big mistake. And again, look at the mistake he has made now. Appointing another person, not from the Southeast, as a chief of army staff. Is there something between him and the Igbos? Anybody who takes the Igbos can never be a successful president of Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you. Did he just anybody who hates the Igbos? Wow.
Well, I mean, these actions are open to interpretation. People would see them in different ways, and perhaps that's the barrister's own interpretation of the president's action. Can we take another call?
All right. Well, okay. Let's take one more. All right. Hello. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning.
Good morning. Easy, good to have you here, Easy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask, should presidents be predictable? Just want to ask. Even when this happens, majority of us know, as usual, this will be the next tribe to take. A president, the PNB shouldn't be predictable. We shouldn't predict actions of the president. Even in the military, don't predict the next move. I mean, it should just swing, do something different. Let's see our president in action. He seems to be playing the same stereotype. They are getting tired. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, do we have any text messages? Let's see real quickly. Okay. All right, I'm afraid that, this text here says, Garba speaks the mind of PMB. They, the presidency and Malami, believe they own us. From their speeches and action, they are working against our unity, a Jaiola body, with the text message there. Let me see this next text message here. It says, being the Grand Commander of the Federation and Armed Forces alone means that PMB had no excuse for being absent. Yet, I am not amazed at the usual gesture. Easy. Thank you very much. All right, I'm trying to go to Twitter, but unfortunately, there's a technical hitch blocking that. So if you've tweeted and I'm not able to read your tweets, we do apologize. But that's all we can take today on The Breakfast Gang.
Yo.
I said that Mr. Sean dressed the part this morning. No shirts, no big collar shirt. But thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of the program. I'm Ronke, Giwa, Onafuwa.
And I'm Oluwaseun of AKinola. Do have a splendid Friday.
My name is Jerome. Good morning.